use SR lines accordingly. Yes. Okay. So now, I just want you guys to tell me what is a moving average according to you and how is it plotted on the chart? I want everybody to participate. So what is moving average according to you? What do you feel a moving average is all about? Average price in certain days. Part of it is right. Am I audible? Can you all moving average? It will take the close prices of. So the thing is, even during your school days, there was a magic number that is 35. About one of the studies, if you type moving average, and who is making consistent return, including big players like Rakesh Jhunjhunwala and Damaniji. In one of their interviews, they mentioned about this. So since then, I've been using this moving average, and the returns are awesome. So, say for example, in studies, if you type moving average, so you need to change the period to 200. So let me keep it blue in color. Okay. So this is 200 moving average. Now, so what is so important about it? Say for example, do you see blue line here? This is 200 moving average. Whenever candles are crossing this blue moving average from bottom to top, when candles are crossing this 200 moving average from bottom to top, that indicates initiation of bullish sentiment in the stock. Is that clear? Because this, whenever candles are closing above this moving average, that gives bullish sentiment in that stock. Say, for example, I want everybody to reply. Can I consider this candle to be closing above 200 SMA? I want everybody to reply because this is for your own good. As I mentioned earlier, swing investment is so powerful, you can make crazy money if you master the art. Daniel G is saying no. Daniel G is saying this candle body is not closing above 200 SMA. What about others? When Daniel G is saying this candle is not closing above. Okay. So, say for example, the candle which is closing above 200 SMA is supposed to be my reference candle. So I'll just mark high and low of the reference candle. The reference candle is that candle which is closing above 200 SMA for the very first time. When it's closing above 200 SMA, I'll mark high and low. Once high is triggered, I'll enter investment in the stock, keeping low of this candle as my stop loss. So high of the candle once breached, I'll go for swing investment. And once the low is triggered, I'll exit because that is my stop loss. So what is my risk in this particular trade or swing investment? My risk is approximately 4.7%. So what is my, let me just check. So let me check what is the reward. Can I risk 4.5% to get 215%? I want everybody to reply. So in 100 days, approximately 4 months trading days. So we have got 215%. 215%. So don't you think today itself it has given 7.4% movement? If you had invested in BSE stock, you would have made very good profit, approximately 7.5%. If you had Manish ji, what is it true about? Can you please explain? Today, what is the difference between open to high? What is the difference between open to high? So don't you think it was approximately 7 to 8%? Manish Jadhav ji. Rajat ji, I'll come back to your point. Focus on this example. Don't you think there was a moment of 7.4%? Manish ji, after breaching the high of this point, so do you getting hit, Manish Jadhav? I want Manish to reply quickly. I want everybody to reply. Is my stop it? Because I'm teaching you something very powerful. So if you master the art of picking the right stock, you can also make great money like what I'm trying to do. So if your stop loss is not hit, don't you think you can stay back in trade? Anyways, you are mentally prepared to lose 5% if things go wrong. So until your stop loss is not hit, don't you think you can stay back in trade? So if I enter here, so till not even a single candle touched my stop loss. So you can see the blue box. Manish Jadhavji, can you please tell me the percentage mentioned in the bracket? 210%. Then what is that doubt that you have on your mind? Because if you identified the stock today itself, you would have got 7%. So getting 7% in a single day, don't you think that's amazing, guys? Yes. So imagine if you had bought 100 shares, what is the capital required to buy 100 shares here? Let me just show you. So what is the open price? 1750. So what is the capital required to buy 100 shares in CNC mode? 1.75 lakh. So what is 7% of 1.75 lakh? Multiply approximately 12,250. Yes or no? You don't have to do few volume about the depth of knowledge in swing investment. You can check CNC. So don't you think that's amazing? Making approximately 10,000 in swing investment. No futures, no options, but still you're making money. That is what is important. And the person who invested here is very lucky because in swing investment and long-term investment, patience is the key. A person, as soon as, because first of all, you have done research regularly to identify a stock which gonna close above 200 SMA. As soon as you find the first candle body close SMA, you need to mark high and low. Once high is breached, I'll calculate the risk. I know the approximate risk is around 5%. Okay. So when I have made peace with my loss, don't you think it gives me courage to stay back in trade? That's why there's a famous saying in markets, that is, buy right and sit tight. Once you buy the stock in the right way, you just have to sit tight. That's all. Is that clear? So please remember, 200 SMA plays vital role. 200 SMA plays vital role. If candles are above 200 SMA, that stock is supposed to be bullish. If candles are below 200 SMA, then that stock is supposed to be bearish. Please keep this simple idea in your mind. Then probability of making money will be very easy. If the candles are present above this moving average, what should be the sentiment? I want everybody to reply because this is the foundation for all of you. Bullish. So if you find candles below the 200 SMA, what should be the sentiment in the stock? Bearish. So from now on, whenever if you check your portfolio, if you have any stocks below 200 SMA, if you have any stock with candles having its presence below 200 SMA, then it's a bearish stock. You need to be very careful. Is that clear? So let me take ITI. Now please tell me, what is the sentiment of stock? What is the overall sentiment? Forget about past four red candles. Now tell me, is it above 200 SMA or below? Obviously, it's above 200 SMA. The overall sentiment is bullish, and this is just a profit booking. This is the profit booking which is happening here. Okay, a small dip above 200 SMA is considered as profit booking, but it doesn't mean the trend is bearish. Is that clear? If you have candles above 200 SMA, the overall trend is bullish. Okay. If there is a dip, this dip is because of profit booking. Okay. So what is the difference between swing and intraday? Vijayji, in intraday trading, you tend to book your profit within a day. Now it may vanish. Then is that clear, Vijay? SMA here, right? So, so luckily, if I had identified through my hard work, this is the reference candle. Once high is breached, I would have invested. My stop loss are hit. Do you think you could have stayed back in trade? 137% return. If you had invested whenever it crossed, that was the best case scenario. That requires a lot of hard work to find. Once you do it, that was a great return. Now, let me open Infosys. Now, you guys tell me. So, what is my present sentiment in Infosys? I want everybody to reply. Bearish. So don't you think it's better to wait for a few more days until a green candle closes about 200 SMA, or else it will be very risky for us to take a trade? Yes, it's below 200 SMA, so we won't take any trade, any swing investment in this. Is that clear? Let me check Yes Bank, your favorite stock. So what's the present sentiment of Yes Bank? Should I invest? It's bearish. Though the value is very less, many people they are focusing more on investing in Yes Bank. Please don't do that, because a stock has fallen to this level because of some skirmish at the board members level. Okay, such kind of a issue is always risky. Raviji is asking for long position we can enter when the price is below 200 SMA, right? See, you think you are entering at the best price. What if it doesn't go 200 SMA? That's my concern. Yes or no? So it's better to invest whenever it is going above this. Let me check Dixon. Is Dixon bullish or bearish? Bullish. Because whenever candles are above 200 SMA, even if there is a dip, it will recover and it will give you great profits. So as of now, the sentiment is bullish. Okay. See, Rajatji, I'll tell you the target later. But as of now, please understand the power of 200 SMA that is trying to convey information so precisely. If candles are above 200 SMA, the stock is bullish. And if it's below 200 SMA, the stock is bearish. Okay. So now, what was the best moment to be invested in the stock? So don't you think this is when it crossed 200 SMA from bottom to top? All of you, can you all please confirm? I want everybody to reply. So this was the best thing. So let me identify which is the first candle whose body closed above 200 SMA. So can I consider this candle to be the first candle whose body closing above 200 SMA? Yes. So I'll mark high and low of it. So next candle breached the high of a reference candle, is or no? This candle breached the high of the reference candle. So we got a entry here. So is my stop loss hit? Is there any candle which is touching my stop loss here? Until my stop loss is not hit, don't you think I can peacefully stay back in trade? So what is my risk? My risk is around 3%. Say for example, I'm planning to invest 1 lakh rupees. For 1 lakh rupees investment, what is my risk? 3,000 rupees. Now look at the power of this 200 SMA. So once you maintain peace with your loss, because you already know if things go wrong, next candle breach the high of a, yes. So I'll mark high and low of it. So next candle breached the high of a reference candle, is or no? This candle breached the high of the reference candle. So we got a entry here. So is my stop loss hit? Is there any candle which is touching my stop loss here? Until my stop loss is not hit, don't you think I can peacefully stay back in trade? So what is my risk? My risk is around 3%. Say for example, I'm planning to invest 1 lakh rupees. For 1 lakh rupees investment, what is my risk? 3,000 rupees. Now look at the power of this 200 SMA. So once you maintain peace with your loss, because you already know if things go wrong, I'll exit with 3,000 rupees lot. But look at this growth. So today's candle somewhere here. 47% in 100 days. For 1 lakh investment, you would have got 47,000 in 100 days. There are 22 trading days approximately. So 4 to 4.5 months, you would have got 47,000. So even if you consider as 4 months, don't you think getting 10% every month, if you divide 47,000 over a period of 4 months, don't you think if you identify the right stock and if you manage your risk, you should make peace with your risk? Uh, Raviji, I'll calculate risk based on the low reference candle, right? So the lower the reference candle is my risk. Are you getting my point? Say I'm marking high and low of the reference candle. Once high is breached, I'm entering swing investment. I'm keeping 3,000 rupees as loss from my entry point. So is there any candle touching the low of this candle, Raviji? Yes. So you have to have a SL in your mind. You cannot keep setting GTT orders. Say, for example, if I invest 1 lakh rupees, if that 1 lakh rupees becomes 97,000, don't you think I'm in a loss of 3,000? Everybody? My 1 lakh rupees becomes 97,000. Obviously, I've lost 3,000 rupees. I'll square off my position immediately at market price. I'll not even wait for a second. So if my 1 lakh is showing a profit of 47,000, then I'll be very happy, right? So that is the same logic. I'm trying to focus on the strategy. Don't worry about stop loss and target. That will be discussed in detail. Because once we discuss this strategy in depth, then only you master the art of setting the target and stop loss. If you start worrying about it, you'll lose the focus on the strategy. Is that clear? So TCS. So let me check TCS. Now tell me, what is the present status of TCS? I want everybody. Bullish. So it's still about 200 SMA. There is a high chance of a bounce back because it is very close to 200 SMA, which will act as a very powerful support. Yes. Is that clear? As per 200 SMA, it's bullish. And moreover, there was a continuous because market itself was falling. So now it is very close to a 200 SMA. As an investor, don't you think you always think to enter investment at the support zone? I want everybody to repeat. Because your stop loss will be very small. Say, for example, if you enter somewhere here, you'll try to keep stop loss below 200 SMA. Yes or no? And moreover, it's very near to because your stop loss will be very small. Say, for example, if you enter somewhere here, you'll try to keep stop loss below 200 SMA. Yes or no? And moreover, it's very near to SR line also. See, this is a zone of resistance and this is a zone of support. If I draw an SR line, don't you think one SR line and 200 SMA together it will form a strong support? Raviji is asking what is the significance of 200? Why not 100 or 50? Say, for example, if I have to take the average, so which is the best average sample? If you take 200 cases and if you take the average and 50 cases, which will reveal better accuracy, which has more number of cases. So Manoj is saying there was a 200 SMA breach here and later it hit the stop loss. It crossed 200 SMA, later hit the stop loss. It's very difficult for me to understand. That will be learned tomorrow. Okay. Now your focus should be to match whatever you have learned on the previous day, that is SR line with 200 SMA. That will give you a lot of clarity because as I mentioned earlier, do you think this SR line concept is also confirming things for you? that it will become bullish or it might reverse from this point onwards. To amalgamate, you need to combine whatever you have learned in the previous class with today's discussion. But yes, so the body is closed above. Very good. It's bullish. Yes or no? Now, if I try to draw an SR line here, there is a beautiful SR line that you can draw using the past data. Now, don't you think the same thing what's happening with TCS, the support and 200 SR line and 200 SMA together, don't you think it is trying to push the stock upward? Yesterday there was a red candle, but today it's a green candle. Why? Because the support at 200 SMA combined with the SR line concept, what you have learned yesterday, together they're not allowing the stock to fall further. It is trying to push it up. Is that clear? That's why you have a green candle, and moreover, this green candle closed above the SR line. This indicates a probable reversal. Yes or no? Do you have any stock to be analyzed? See, today I want you guys to focus more on how to use 200 SMA. To consider a stock to be 200 SMA, it should be above 200 SMA. See, I'll open the settings of 200 SMA. You can take a screenshot. I just changed the value from 50 to 200. That's it. And I've changed the color. I've not changed anything else. You can take a screenshot or you can just write it down. Is it done? Can I go ahead? Just to explore the stocks that you guys are suggesting. It's a request. Okay. So let me check Ion Exchange. So what is the sentiment in Ion Exchange? I want everybody to reply. So let us see if I can draw any SR line. This is a zone of support and this is a zone of resistance. Okay. By joining these 2 points, don't you think there is a strong support underneath? That's why you can see a long wick, because this SR line was so powerful. It did not allow the red body to close the SR line. It pushed it up. That's why you have the wick at the bottom. First of all, the candles are above 200 SMA, so obviously it's bullish. And you need to identify 1 or 2 SR lines above and below. Say I'll draw one SR line. Say for example, this is my support zone, this is my resistance zone. Okay, so if I try to match, so there are 2 SR lines. Luckily, this SR line is not broken. How can I say this SR line is not broken? Do you have red body closing below this SR line to say it's broken? I want everybody to reply. So it's not broken yet. So tomorrow we have to wait. If there is any red candle which is closing below this, then that can be considered broken. But as of now, the close is above SR line. That means this SR line did not allow that body to close below because it was one of the powerful SR line. That's why it pushed it up. In case if tomorrow if there is any red candle closing below this SR line, then obviously it's broken. It may fall to the next SR line. Is that clear? It may fall, but definitely it will bounce back and it will go up. What is the reason? Because the candles are about 200 SMA. Whenever candles are about 200 SMA, everybody will be waiting for the reversal. Whenever there is a bullish reversal like this, everybody across the country, they participate in investment. That's why you need to follow the majority. Yes or no? If you follow the footsteps of FIIs and DIIs, then only you can make money. And those guys will be pumping a lot of money if the stocks are about 200 SMA. That's why I'm stressing a lot on this moving average. Okay. And you can just combine it with SR line so that you'll get to know what are the different levels based on the present candle. So as of now, you can predict it has taken support here, it might go up. In case tomorrow also, if there is a red candle below this SR line, then this particular SR line is broken, considered to be broken, and then it may fall to the next SR. Is that clear? I'm trying to combine the knowledge that you have acquired in the previous class with today's discussion. Okay. Yes, Shrutiji. So just tell me stop quickly. Reliance. So what should be my course of action in Reliance? Should I buy Reliance and get all the money get stuck in the stock? Or it's better to avoid the stock? It's bearish stock because candles are below 200 SMA. So don't you think within a fraction of a second you can tell what is the sentiment in the stock? Don't you think that's amazing? Because fundamental guys, they take 1 week to tell what is the sentiment in the stock. But by just looking at a single line and the presence of the candle, whether it's below that line or above the line, you're able to predict whether to invest or not to invest. That is what is needed. You need to be very quick, you need to be very sharp. You can keep spending entire week like fundamental guys to make money. So should I invest in HDFC Bank? No, very good, because it's bearish. Jamna Auto. So what is the sentiment in Jamna Auto? It's still bullish because 200 SMA did not allow it to close. So you can see here, I can draw an SR line, zone of resistance, zone of support. Don't you think the combination of SR line and 200 SMA is not allowing the red body to close below them? It is trying to push it up. That's why there is a wick at the bottom. So you should try to look at the chart through my lens. Then only you will try to understand the opportunity. Is that clear? Yes. So which is the next stock? What about this stock? Is it bullish? Is it bullish? The overall sentiment is bullish. And don't you think it's trying to make higher lows here? It's consistently making higher lows. This low is higher than this. Low is higher than this. So it is trying to make higher lows. That means there's a probability that it might go up. Yes or no? At least in a second, you're able to tell whether it's bullish or bearish. Yes or no? I want you guys to reply that. Escorts. Is Escorts bullish? Yes. So Oro Pharma. Is Oro Pharma bullish? Yes. ABFRL. Is ABFRL bullish? Yes. Yes or no? Tell me. Is ABFRL bullish or bearish? No. Because candles are below 200 SMA. So let me check ICICI Bank. The body of the candle close below 200 SMA. So if that happens, there is a high probability of a fall. So now tell me the most favorite bank State Bank of India. What should be the sentiment in State Bank of India? Is it bullish or bearish? Bearish. Very good. So, Kotak Bank. So let's see Kotak Bank. So what is the sentiment in the stock? It's bearish. It was bearish since August. The August, you can see the case came below 200 SMA. Till today, there is a fall of 6.2%. So don't you think if you can get to know the stocks which are already bearish, at least you're not investing on a wrong stock so that your capital is not getting stuck. At least your capital is not getting stuck. At least you have invested on the capital. You have invested the capital on the right stock which has got candles about 200 SMA. Yes or no? So be soft. So what is the sentiment? What is the sentiment in be soft? Bullish. So don't you think it's making higher lows continuously? So whenever it is making higher lows, don't you think the sentiment will be bullish? So Larsen and Toubro. So what is the sentiment in the stock? Bullish. If I try to join the lows, so continuously making higher lows, and it is trying to respect a single line that is a trend line, right? So that's very beautiful. See, investment is very beautiful if you spend a lot of time with the candlestick patterns or the strategy. See, most of the time, even during dinner time, I'll be looking at the candlesticks. So every day my dinner is a candlelight dinner because I'll be looking at the candles while having my dinner. So sun. Okay, so let me check LTIM. So what is the sentiment of the stock? Yes, Kiranji, true. So as of now, it's bullish, and you can see this low is higher than this low. So continuously, it's making higher lows. There is high probability that it will bounce back. Yes or no? So Britannia. So what should be my course of action in Britannia? What is the sentiment of Britannia? Bearish. So if you have money, please go buy Britannia biscuit for tea or coffee, but don't invest on Britannia stock. So that market will not throw biscuit at your end. So please avoid investing in Britannia. So Indiabulls Housing Finance. So is this stock bullish? Yes. So let me check JSW Steel. So as of now, the candle closed below 200 SMA, so I cannot consider this stock to be bullish. So it may fall. It may fall. Is that clear? Kiranji, you're saying Indiabulls Housing Finance has broken the structure? Kiranji? Okay. So let me open this Indiabulls Housing Finance. So what is the structure that you're talking about? Can you please tell me? So you say it has broken the structure. Higher low, this low, this low, and this low. Okay. This low, is it lowest compared to all these two? Kiran? So before saying you need to check that, don't you think you need to check it before asking such questions? Kiran? Astaji, don't worry about 200 SMA when it comes to dividend paying stock. That is list number 2. Is that clear? Just invest on dividend paying stocks irrespective of its location, because that is meant for your retirement from 2033 onwards. But as of now, for swing investment in daily time frame, because within a month you're supposed to get 10%. So you need to be very careful. If candles are above 200 SMA, it's bullish. It has got higher probability of giving you 10%. So I have never taught you any structures. I've spoken only about my SR line concept, right? So based on my SR line, trying to on my SR line, right? And but this low is any day higher than this low and this low. So when you're talking to a trader and an investor, you need to do homework first. So what is the next stock that you wanted? HAL. So what is the HAL sentiment as of now? Do we have any SR line? We cannot draw any SR line, right? Because I can find a support zone, but there is no resistance zone in the past. So it's bullish. So let's see whether it's making higher lows. Is this low higher than this, and is this low higher than this? By joining these lows, don't you think we get a trending? And it's resting on that zone. There is a high probability that it may have a very good bounce back. Okay. So now, can I expect all of you to identify stocks which are above 200 SMA in Nifty 50 list? I want you guys to go through each and every stock from Nifty 50 list and see how many stocks are above 200 SMA, because I'll be refining the strategy tomorrow by making some tweaking to the strategy. Before that, I want you guys to get accustomed with the strategy. Okay. Sunflag. So what is the sentiment in Sunflag? Should I invest, Arunaji? Should I invest in Sunflag? No. So Force Motors, it's bullish, right? So because market is bearish, that's why there is a dip. But overall sentiment in the market is bullish because the location of the candle above, it is above this. Okay. So I cannot draw any SR line here because I have only resistance, no support. So I cannot predict because it will try to fill this gap for sure. So according to me, it should fall till this point to fill this gap. Then only we can think about something else. Okay. So Godrej CP. So what should be my Godrej CP? What should be my course of action on this stock? Godrej CP. Should I invest? In just fraction of a second, you can tell me this is not the right stock to invest because candles are trying to go below 200 SMA. Okay. So yes, so I want you guys to do a lot of research. Please open the list of Nifty 50 and please check the stocks which are above 200 SMA. Manish Jadavji, you please do research on those stocks which are trying to suggest. Okay, and please post it in the group whether it's bullish or bearish, because this practice will make you a very good investor. Trust me, it's only the investment, swing investment, which can make you rich in the long run. Because in intraday trading, many a times, because of your greed, you might lose a lot of money. Is that clear? So can I expect you guys to go through the list of Nifty 50 and tell me what is it? Seemaji, please go through that stock and please update it in the group, because I know how to test whether the stock is bullish or bearish, because I want you to master the art. That's why I'm delegating that homework to you only. Because since past 7 years I've been using it and I'm making crazy money. Okay, in a single day I've made 9,700 in BSC stock. Okay, so I want you guys also to make money like this. That's why I'm giving you homework. Please do that homework diligently, and you will bless me in the long run. Is that clear? Please do that homework and post the screenshots in the group so that it will help others also. Your analysis will also help others also. All for one and one for all. Sajanji, I've told you Nifty 50 list. So in Nifty 50, you have 50 stocks. Manually just go through each and every stock. Okay. Is that clear? Okay. Vijayji, don't use ICICI Direct. That is one of the least updated platform to do anything else. Please open a Zerodha account. And if you don't have Zerodha account, just ping me in Telegram. I'll share my referral link. Using that, you can, because in intraday, in my setup, there are 5 indicators. You cannot use 5 indicators on ICICI Direct. And not even on TradingView if you don't have premium version. Is that clear? So I would request you to open both equity and commodity account in Zerodha. Okay. Is that clear? See, I don't understand head and shoulder. Now with the simple strategy, because my strategies are very simple, Raviji. Tell me whether Nifty 50 is bullish or bearish. Simple. Do, because I have kept my trading and investment strategy so simple, even a kid can make money. Okay. So you don't have to worry much about it. So just follow the SR line and 200 SMA. So you can see here, Nifty 50 is resting somewhere here. See my prediction by February of 2024. So Nifty will bounce back and it will cross 20,000. It may touch 20,300 also in a span of 4 months. So because candles are about 200 SMA, right? Every fall there is a huge retracement. Now there is a beautiful opportunity for you to invest. Okay, there is a big discount which is running in bearish market, especially after Navratri. This is an opportunity for everybody to become rich. Please invest and market will bounce back. जब तक सूरज और चांद रहेगा, Indian market bullish रहेगा. So I'll fine tune the strategy tomorrow. As of now, try to combine whatever you have learned, that is SR line and 200 SMA, and try to develop a beautiful combination. Okay, thank you so much. Good night. See you tomorrow. Good night. Yes, Kiranji, just drop a message in Telegram in person. So I'll help you if you have any doubts. Thank you. Good night. Let's catch up tomorrow. Good night.